Hi team. Welcome to Additional Sheet. In this video we will go through top 20 plus multiple choice questions for CSS. Question 1. What does CSS stand for? Options are A. Creative Style Sheets, B. Computer Style Sheets, C. Cascading Style Sheets, D. Colorful Style Sheets. The correct answer is option C. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, which is a style sheet language used for describing the presentation of a document written in HTML or XML. Q2. How can you include an external CSS file in an HTML document? Options are A. Style tag, B. Using link tag, C. Using CSS tag, and D. Using script tag. The correct answer is option B. The link element with the attributes rel equals stylesheet and href is used to include an external CSS file in an HTML document. Q3. Which property is used to change the text color in CSS? Options are A. Text color, B. Font color, C. Color, D. Text style. The correct answer is option C. The color property is used to set the color of the text in CSS. Sorry for the interruption. Please visit additionalsheet.com website and click on the quiz section to take multiple technical courses quizzes and explore much more. Thank you. Let's resume our video. Q4. What does the box model in CSS consist of? Options are A. Margin, padding, border, content, B. Width, height, depth, C. Header, footer, sidebar, content, D. Float, clear, position, display. The correct answer is option A. The box model in CSS consists of margin, padding, border, and content, which define the dimensions of an element. Q5. How can you select an element with ID example in CSS? Options are A. Hashtag example, B. Dot example, C. Asterisk example, D. Dollar example. Correct answer is option A. In CSS, to select an element with a specific ID, you use the hashtag symbol followed by the ID name. Q6. What is the purpose of the float property in CSS? Options are A. It makes text bold, B. It positions an element to the left or right, allowing text and inline elements to wrap around it, C. It increases the font size of an element, D. It creates a border around an element. Correct answer is option B. The float property in CSS is used to specify whether an element should float to the left or right, allowing text and inline elements to wrap around it. Q7. Which CSS property is used to control the space between individual characters in a text? Options are A. Word spacing, B. Letter spacing, C. Line height, D. Textspacing. Correct answer is option B. The letter spacing property in CSS is used to control the space between characters in a text. Q8. What does the position, absolute, property value do in CSS? Options are A. Positions an element relative to its normal position in the document flow, B. Positions an element relative to its nearest positioned ancestor, C. Removes an element from the normal document flow, D. Makes an element visible. Correct answer is option C. The position, absolute, property removes an element from the normal document flow and positions it relative to its containing element. Q9. Which CSS pseudoclass is used to select and style an element when a user hovers over it? Options are A. Hover, B. Active, C. Focus, D. Visited. Correct answer is option A. The hover pseudoclass is used to select and style an element when a user hovers over it with the mouse. Q10, how can you center an element horizontally in CSS? Options are A. Text align, center. B. Marziehen, Zero Auto. C. Align, center. D. Float, center. Answer is option B. Setting margin, Zero Auto, on an element style centers it horizontally by distributing equal margins on the left and right sides. Q11, which CSS property is used to control the space between lines of text within an element? Options are A. Text spacing. B. Line height. C. Space between. D. Vertikalen. Correct answer is option B. The line height property in CSS is used to control the space between lines of text within an element. Q12, what does the box sizing, border box, property value do in CSS? Options are A. Includes only the content when calculating the width of an element. B. Includes content, padding, and border when calculating the width of an element. C. Includes only the padding when calculating the width of an element. D. Includes only the border when calculating the width of an element. Correct answer is option B. The box sizing, border box, property value includes the content, padding, and border when calculating the width of an element. Q13, what is the purpose of the z-index property in CSS? Options are A. It sets the opacity of an element. B. It controls the stacking order of elements with the same position. C. It defines the rotation of an element. D. It changes the font size of an element. Correct answer is option B. The z-index property in CSS is used to control the stacking order of elements with the same position. Q14, which CSS property is used to create rounded corners on an element? Options are A. Border radius. B. Corner radius. C. Round corner. D. Border style. Correct answer is option B. The border radius property in CSS is used to create rounded corners on an element. Q15, what is the purpose of the media query in CSS? Options are A. It queries the user's browser history. B. It allows the use of media files in the style sheet. C. It applies styles based on the characteristics of the device displaying the page. D. It queries the server for additional styles. Correct answer is option C. Media queries in CSS allow the application of styles based on the characteristics of the device, such as screen size, resolution, and orientation. Q16, which CSS property is used to set the background color of an element? Options are A. Background color. B. Color background. C. Background style. D. Element color. Correct answer is option A. The background color property in CSS is used to set the background color of an element. Q17, how can you select all paragraphs within a div element using CSS? Options are A. Div p. B. Div greater than p. C. Div plus p. D. Dvp. Correct answer is option A. The selector divp selects all p elements that are descendants of a div element. Q18, what is the purpose of the opacity property in CSS? Options are A. It controls the transparency of an element. B. It changes the font weight of an element. C. It adjusts the brightness of an element. D. It sets the shadow of an element. Correct answer is option A. The opacity property in CSS is used to control the transparency of an element. Q19, which CSS property is used to control the order of flex items in a flex container? Options are A. Flex order. B. Order. C. Flex direction. And D. Flex direction. Correct answer is option B. The order property in CSS is used to control the order of flex items in a flex container. Q20. What does the display none property value do in CSS? Options are: A. It hides an element without affecting the layout. B. It changes the display style to inline. C. It makes an element visible. D. It increases the element size. Correct answer is option A. The display none property value in CSS hides an element without affecting the layout. Thank you very much. Please visit additionalsheet.com website for real-time exercise and examples.